Good day. So my name is Jonatan van Jaarsveld. I actually started working in the tasting room a while back, and now I'm joining the harvest team for 2025. And the cellar has been good so far.
Nice, Jono. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I've got a couple of good questions for you, and I think it's going to be quite interesting to hear your point of view on a couple interesting parts that link winemaking to experience. So you say you started in the tasting room, moving into the cellar. What was the first thing that you noticed when you started working in the cellar?
So first of all, what really stood out for me, moving from the tasting room to the cellar, is basically just to see how the winemaking techniques actually are implemented within the cellar, but not just the techniques, but also the grape varieties itself. Because when you're in the tasting room, sometimes you do wonder, like, hey, but how does Chardonnay look like? What does Tempranillo looks like? And now to physically see the structure of the berry, the structure of the bunch itself, it actually also like correlates to how the wine's gonna taste at the end of the day. What's the texture gonna be like? So I just feel like it's a whole big integration of seeing firsthand what's happening behind the scenes, and then when I go back to the tasting room, I'll be able to tell guests and say, hey, but this is what it is, this is what it looks like, and this is what big influence it has on the wine you're tasting today.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you first started in the cellar, what was the most surprising winemaking technique for you? What was like the most difficult thing for you to overcome from a technique standpoint?
For me, it was filling the wine press. So for example, Roland, one of the cellar workers that works here, like he's winging that thing. And it actually took me like 3 weeks to actually fill in my first 8 bins into that press. So for me, that was the biggest block to come over. And now, I can now fill luckily.
Is it more the physicality aspect? It's 8 bins sounds like a lot.
It's very physical in the cellar, first of all. The thing is that people don't really see physically what hard work winemaking actually is, because not only you have to have the brains, but you also have to be physically strong. You have to be able to move a few berries into that corner and carry a few crates of grapes to the top tanks and all that stuff. So, but it's fun. Yeah. It's good fun.
Incredibly physical. Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, when you're carrying grapes up to the top and working around here, it can be quite a dangerous environment. Have you had any slips, falls, or anything yet so far?
I actually had a few, especially one. My biggest one was definitely when I moved the destemmer and the floor was wet. I had a bit of a slip, and the next moment I was laying on my back.
You saw the sky quicker.
I saw the sky, yes. I was like, oh, that's the tank for the pump over, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be quite an intense environment, and I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on here. You've got the conveyor belt moving grapes up, the destemmer running, you're shoveling stems out, you're moving grapes around here, you've got the pumps running. I mean, I'm quite impressed that there's not more haphazard things that happen more often. Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to our wines, the wines that Waterford Estate makes, what would be your favorite? What's the one that you're most excited to make, or have you already had the opportunity to be a part of the team to make that wine? And once you've understood how that wine's been made, how do you think that's going to improve what we do for you in the tasting room?
So for me, a wine that really now stood out for me was definitely the Shiraz. So the thing is, especially now with the Shiraz, that our Shiraz specifically, being on the warmer side of the Stellenbosch area, it's very earthy. You get still that robustness, but yet you get that soft, refined tannin structures in the wine itself. And actually just to open the tank itself and smell while it's fermenting, for me, it has been smelling very great this year, very good. I must say I'm really excited for the 2025 Shiraz when it is released in a few years' time. So
I think you'll grab yourself a couple bottles as well. They're quite a special vintage because you had a hand in making them.
Absolutely. I mean, it will be a nice addition to my cellar. So
yeah, of course. Is that not what wine's about? It's about the memories and about the things that come to you when you smell that glass of wine. And for you, being a part of the winemaking journey of it, I mean, I'm sure you're going to open that bottle, smell the glass, and be transported back to the tank.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So far my time in the cellar has been amazing. So you know, it's one of those memories that I'll cherish for the rest of my days. So
Yeah, I'd love to
definitely,
hear that.
yes. Yeah.
Jono, nicknames are a part of life.
Yes.
I hear different things getting shouted across the cellar here every time I come in. What are they calling you at the moment?
So I am actually well known as being Jono because my name is, how can I say, sometimes difficult to pronunciate. But I am actually now called these days Ooghies.
Ooghies.
So for the English listeners, that means eyes, Ooghies. So the thing is that the story behind this was it was my very first day in the cellar. I remember it was the 3rd of Feb. And essentially what then happened was after we had pressed a few grapes and cleaned out the wine press and everything, I was tasked to go and clean it. And the thing is that I was cleaning it with a sterilizer. And the thing is that I was climbing into the press, cleaning it, making sure everything is well clean. And as I came out, a little drop of that fell into my eye.
Oh no.
Yes.
And Ooghies is stuck. Yeah?
It was a bit of a burn. With running water, getting everything out, as you can see, I'm perfectly fine. So it actually just stuck, you know, being called Ooghies. So.
It's always a good laugh. I quite enjoy coming in here and I hear someone yelling Ooghies. Oh, it's a good laugh.
Yeah, no. If you ever hear Ooghies at Waterford Estate, just know it's
you.
It's the wine maker calling me. So.